Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. Hello, positive heads. Here we glow. See, I'm switching it up on you guys. I hope you are doing super duper swell on this famtabulous Monday. See, I'm changing up all the words that I make up just for you, for your listening pleasure or not, depending. Today I want to talk a little bit had some cool synchronicities that I'd like to share, which is always fun and inspiring for me. And I think you too. Are you guys' synchronicities increasing? Are you seeing, I feel like, the ascension process is just coming more and more into full swing. Jason Estes, who I had on the show a while back, talks a lot about this stuff on Facebook, and that's the only social media place I think I follow him. But he talks a lot about reading the energetics and what's happening, and saying that we're just like the new world is officially birthed kind of thing. And who can say such things for sure? Not I, but I know I know something's going on energetically. There's just been a lot of things bubbling up to the surface. Like, you've heard me talking about it over the last few months, things that need to be healed or worked through, or sort of like these trigger points, just like little ones have happened to me a lot. And I'm like, okay. Don't react. Oh, I reacted a little bit. Okay, don't react. Okay, try again, and it just keeps on. And then lots of synchronicity, like multiple layers all day, every day, it seems like. And so I'm just wondering am I the only one that this is happening to? I think probably not. Yeah, I'd love to hear. If so, share in the Positive Heads Facebook group. And if you're not in the Positive Heads Facebook group, well, you should get in there and share. I'd love to hear. I know everyone in there. We basically also changed it so no one is advertising things, except one day a week we let people. So it's cool to get the group back in where it's more personal and interactive again. For those of you who've been there and not been there lately, check it out. Share some stuff. Get personal. Connect with other listeners. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So synchronicities. Let's see. I had, as you guys know, of course, I'm talking about it a lot. The Golden Key is out, and super excited to have birthed my first book to the world. And if you haven't checked it out yet, of course, you can go do that at goldenkey.gift. And so I got a cool thing in the mailer. First, my partner Karen's mom sent us a thing. Look what I just got in the mail. And it was a picture of a key with a heart, just like the ones we're making. And you can see on the site as well. And it said, "My gift to you," And so she got this mailer and sent it to us. Like, look what I got. Right after I finished, she read the book, which was cool. And right after I finished, I get this, gift to you mailer. Well, the very next day, I get in the mail a ad from Carnival, and it's like, "Hello vacay, hello fun." Well, I'm sure I've said it at some point. My travel company with my brother is Hello Vacay is the name of it. And it's, and probably the reason I don't mention it a lot, because we've worked in a very small container with legacy timeshare properties. And so it hadn't made sense. It wasn't like something that was outward facing to the public. You had to kind of be involved with our, the resorts that we worked with and things like that. Well, now a big shift is happening with it. And we just partnered with Priceline, the biggest travel company in the world, and where we're going to be have like deeply discounted properties, et cetera. And it's all going to come through you get deep discounts in bulk, right? Well, through like influencer collaborations, there's going to be like, up to 60% off what you'd get on all the major sites. So it's pretty cool and exciting in the way it went down, and, big partnership. And so a lot going on there with that. And, my brother's my partner, and he kind of runs it day to day, and I'm not there every day or spending as much energy as him, but, more than in a while, because, a lot of shift and growth is happening. So I've been very busy, as you can imagine, with the book too, and the podcast and all the things, planning to get back to optimistic filming and releasing those episodes and retreats, and as soon as this COVID thing chills, which seems like that's going in an exciting new direction. So yeah, just so much. But back to my synchronicity. So right after getting seeing the mailer for the key, the very next day I get this Hello Vacay ad, right, with our name. I own the trademark, right? And it's like Carnival sends me. It's like talk about well, either lucky or unlucky, depending on how you look at it, to send to the person that actually owns the trademark using their trademark in an ad, a major company like that. Lucky for them, they sent it to a hippie who, instead of wanting to do harm or sue someone, sees it just as a good sign, a synchronicity that, both things that I'm working on are coming to me in the mail, right? And so these reflections are just getting closer and closer and closer. And, I don't know about you guys. Like I said, I'd love to hear. It's so exciting and inspiring, and I'll, as always, continue to share them as they happen, because it just brings that zone of magic to your life, right? It's like, I see it as that wink from the universe. You're on your highest timeline. You're on the path. You're doing it. So use those permission slips, those excuses when you see them, even when it's just like little reflections, I'm pretty good at like really like weeding out the, pulling those patterns out to the surface. And, it's a fun game to play with yourself. It's just like a fun thing that takes no effort other than, and obviously you can go too far with it, overreading into something and making everything some epic sign. Robert Grant, who was on the show a while back, said randomness is simply mankind's inability to perceive and comprehend God's patterned encryption. And so I find it just like such a fun adventure to constantly look for that. Like, okay. Yes, there can be big signs, right, that are clear winks, like what I was just talking about. But then there's this like, more nuanced things that I believe are just a reflection. Like, I was just talking about tacos, and all of a sudden, 3 taco trucks drive by me or whatever, it's just like cool. Oh, it's my universe is reflecting me back to me. And that is something that is, just always a good time. So let's see here. I would like to also take a moment. I've asked you guys to review the book on iTunes, and not iTunes, on Amazon. And I used to always read reviews on iTunes years back, which actually I'd like to do that again sometimes too. So you can review the podcast on Apple Podcast, as they call it now. But with the book just coming out, I thought those who are taking the time to go and review, I am super appreciative, because it helps us to reach new people with the book. Just like reviewing on Apple, helps us to reach new podcast listeners. So I'm going to read one of these reviews. It's something I'm going to do from time to time, like the olden days. This review, the person, they just put their initials BM, said, simply golden. This book is truly golden. Also true of the soul who wrote it. Brandon is a down-to-earth natural leader. Anyone can receive divine guidance, but it takes a pure, true, golden heart to selflessly share that knowledge and inspiration with the world. The Positive Head podcast has been a huge source of guidance and positivity, uplifting my life and mood for over a year now. This book is nothing short of that same brilliant light. While listening to the audio version, I literally experienced a different state of consciousness that felt like I was in a vortex. That being said, don't expect anything. Just allow the book to take you where it will. Expectation is the killer of magical experiences. Indeed. I pre-ordered the paperback so I can add it to my collection of perspective-shifting knowledge. Keep being amazing, Brandon, and all the Positive Head crew. I love and thank you all from the bottom of my heart and soul. Oh, thank you, BM, for taking the time to write that. That feels really good to hear some positive feedback after, laboring that baby for a long time. So I'm glad. It's really cool the idea of getting into that vortex of, right? It's the whole reason I started this podcast all the years ago. Like, how do I get into that vortex where I feel like I'm just like floating on, air? I'm just like tapped into source in such a powerful way. And that's exactly what, with the book, of course, it's just like distilled 3 hours and 11 minutes of like, stuff like really distilled down as opposed to freestyle like this podcast is. And they both have their place and purpose. And it's definitely powerful though, when it's that distilled, I believe. So let me know what you think, of course, all you guys out there checking it out. Other thing I'm going to be doing is here's something that I want to talk about today is finding your voice. And as we emerge out of the COVID chrysalis into the new stage of humanity, I believe we're fresh out of the chrysalis or just emerging, is finding your voice, realizing that, Oprah said, everybody matters and everybody just wants to be heard, right? Well, I got good news. There's plenty of room for everybody to be heard. We all deserve to be heard. And people have different ways of being heard. Some it's expression of art, not saying anything, but showing my art or music, or, in my case, I use a lot of words. Well, what's exciting to see is like social media change. Are you guys familiar with Clubhouse yet? Any of you guys? I'm sure some of you are probably on. They started it out as they grow, so it's invite only, so they don't get too overwhelmed. But it's really like totally unique new social media that's way more, as you guys have probably noticed, I've never been big on social media. I mentioned the group earlier, but I'm not on social media a whole lot. My Instagram, a lot of people with this size show have, hundreds of thousands or millions of followers on Instagram. And I've never focused on it. It's more like my personal page. I show me and my mom or, whatever. I just haven't cared too much. Well, Clubhouse is like perfect for those of you, speaking of finding your voice, it's for those who haven't heard of it, it's basically, you create clubs or rooms where you talk about certain topics. You go in there and it's just like you see little pictures of who's all in the room. You've got the people on the stage. You've got the people in the audience. People in the audience can raise their hand and be called on to the stage, depending on the format. And they're just different topics. So you can go in any room to talk about any topic, and really cool. I've been checking it out the last couple of days, and I've decided to do something that I've dabbled with on this show is doing a Q&A with you guys and having it as an episode. We've done it here and there, people writing questions. Well, Clubhouse is perfect for that. So what I'm going to do for the first time ever on the 11th, Thursday, February 11th at 6 p.m. Pacific, so 9 Eastern, I'm going to be doing a live Keys to Manifesting Abundance Q&A. Any of you guys who are on Clubhouse, get in there and I would love to get some questions from you. I'm basically just going to have someone helping to moderate, and you guys can raise your hand, come up on stage, ask a question, bring up, whatever. It's such a cool way to connect. And I'm like, as soon as I'm seeing and getting the whole lowdown, I'm like, an easy way on some semi-regular basis to connect with you guys. And, it's one of my favorite things to do. And I love doing these solo podcasts, but wow, when I get the chance, I always think of my friend Ronit, who's been on here in the past. She's always like, Brandon, you got to do more Q&As. That's like, yes, your solo podcasts are amazing, but seeing me in real life with her friends and family and just having that interaction creates magic. And it's also why I'm going to be doing Zoom private, Zoom with you guys that you can learn about on Golden Key as well. But coming up in the first one, I think is the February 21st. Anyway, you can check that out as well. I'm just wanting to do more interacting with you guys. So yeah. Get on Clubhouse. If you're on there, just go and follow my profile. Just search Brandon Beecham, and make sure that you click the little bell on my logo or on my profile page. The little bell will say, "Always tell me when he's doing something," and then that way you'll get notified, and then you can jump in and just put it on your calendar. Though, February 11th, 6 p.m. Join me for a live Q&A. It's going to be a good time. So super, super excited about that. Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. The concept for the book initially came to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, confirming for me that the information in the book is pertinent to get to the world at this moment in our collective evolution. In the book, I share the 8 keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 25 years of trial, error, and deep exploration, including one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. I think most of you will agree with me that talk is a bit cheap, especially these days, and results speak the loudest of all. Well, these keys have led me to manifesting incredible results, such as an Inc. fastest growing private company, uncanny health, incredible relationships, and success with this podcast. However, I'm not any more special than you, and anyone can apply this information to achieve incredible results in their own life. I also believe waking up our planet by sharing these keys to abundance is the quickest way to help us to transition our home into the planet of paradise it is destined to become, which is why I'd like to gift the book to you at goldenkey.gift when you use the golden key code POSITIVEHEAD. I would also like to invite you to create your own unique golden key code so you in turn can gift the book to others, as well as invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and on the website, where readers are also going to share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. Lastly, I'm going to practice what I preach by sharing 50% of the abundance generated from the golden game and sale of the other golden goodies on the website with you and all the other readers. So if you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. Also, if you end up loving and appreciating your gifted copy of the book, please take a moment to go to Amazon and give it a review, which will greatly help me reach and unlock more hearts with the golden key. But, what I was getting at a little bit ago was this whole idea that, we're stepping into a new world where there is room for everybody's voice. And I think this Clubhouse thing is actually a great example of that. The people who are getting to be on the stage. And like I said, this is not everyone's medium, right? And some of you are like, horrified, like I don't want to talk or be on stage. Fine. My point is you're seeing reflections of opening up more possibilities for people's voice to be heard. And I think you're going to, with Clubhouse, and you're going to see it in many, many ways. And that's something to be excited about. We've had a lot of in COVID depression with people and stuck and and out of that is going to come more opportunity, right? It's always darkest before the dawn. And mankind has had some weird darkness. I saw something that said, actually, it's been since the Dark Ages, the end of the plague, since there was this many planets. This many signs in Jupiter, which is like planet of abundance and luck and all those things. Like seven signs in Jupiter or something during February. And the last time that happened was the end of the plague, 1,000 years ago or whatever it was, more. That's where we're at astrologically. I mean, if that's true, I haven't looked into that. So any of you astrologers out there can say it better or know exactly what it is. But if that's true, what an exciting time for us all, right? And knowing that your voice is as important in however you express that. And maybe you're still finding it. Maybe you're still finding your medium to inspire and encourage others and to, as Gandhi said, if you want to find yourself, lose yourself in the service of others. And that's going to come from using your voice in some way, shape, or form. And if you haven't figured it out yet, be excited about you're in the process, right? It's all happening. It's like I saw a quote from John Lennon the other day. It's like my grandmother used to tell me, never say you're sick. You're you're in the process of healing, right? So important. Our words are our wands. You're in the process of finding your voice. Your voice is going to get it's going to get stronger. Those of you who've been looking for a medium, I know a lot of people, friends that have started podcasts inspired by coming on here and, that I've talked to over the years and I've seen it. It's like a lot of people want to use this medium. Well, guess what? Clubhouse. It's like, it's really, really interesting. I think it's going to be the next big social media platform. I mean, it's already happening, right? And if haven't got an invite yet, never fear. They're going to open it up to everyone. It's just, I think they're worried about it, like getting, bogged down and breaking from too much popularity too soon kind of thing. But, your voice is emerging. It is happening. It is coming. You're doing it. You're going to step into that fear. You're going to trust the process, the fear around it, right? It excites you. And if it excites you and scares you, it's probably for you. And so some of you are going to experience that, but knowing that, the more you get in touch with this knowing, the more you invite it in, telling the story that you're not worthy of having a voice or a say that matters and inspires others, and most importantly, inspires yourself, is a boat that missed you, that passed you by. That is a rotten story that ain't true. And well, let me, unless you say it's true, there's only one truth, your truth. And so if you're telling a truth, abracadabra, I create as I speak. Henry Ford, whether you think you can't or think you can't, you're right. It's time to start thinking you can. It's time to start knowing. I mean, something as profound as, I'll keep going back to it as an example of this Clubhouse in this. I mean, for the person, there is people who are just getting on there, or some of you listening who are going to get on there, and you're going to find a huge voice and a huge audience. And you don't have to think of it from a competitive, I got to be better, or there's not enough room. That's all nonsense. It's actually, you have your own unique vibration and your own unique vibrational offering. And those who are attracted to that and who are resonant with that will find it. It's inevitable. It's actually, that just made me think of a dream that I had last night where someone, it is kind of like, this is more of a negative resonance, but it was a dream, and it's a great example. There was someone, and I was traveling abroad with someone, and then they got really sick, and I was fine. I was healthy, but I remember in the dream, they started vibrating from they were like almost deliriously ill. And I was watching them and empathic, in the moment. And all of a sudden I started vibrating like in resonance with their vibration, which was like their sickness sort of taking hold. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. I don't want to resonate like that. That's kind of what happened in the dream. So that you have your own unique vibration. And, once again, like, forget who said it. Who's more important, Gandhi or Gandhi's grandmother, who led to him being who and what he became? Right? Speaking of grandmothers. So I've been seeing a lot of synchronicity around my grandmother too, as well, interestingly enough. But who's no longer in physical. But it's really, you can relax about your voice when you know, hey, maybe my voice will reach one person. Maybe I'll make a work of art that one person sees and they go on to be the next, Picasso. You just don't know, and you don't need to know. You just have to trust the process of this unfolding that's happening for you, and knowing that when you see a platform like Clubhouse coming up for those who are really inspired to get their voice out, through their vocal cords. Wow, right? What a huge, it's a leveler. It's a great leveler playing field, whereas as far as people, finding a big audience, there's people that are growing really quick on their course, just like it happened on TikTok or wherever, it's that whole thing. And this is something that's really got some heart. You can't hide behind, it's not just about a flowery picture or whatever. It's like, you need to have something to say if you're going to, attract an audience there. And there's many listening, by the way, I know out there who are going to want to just listen to conversations. So, and they're live and they're not recorded. So, that's kind of cool because, it's sort of like a live town hall sort of thing. But, So I just want to inspire you guys. I want you guys to be inspired by that development because it's really sunk in with me in the last few days. Like, oh wow, this is going to be so great for people who've longed to sort of have a platform. Sort of like I had. And even with me, you think about, well, before podcasting, I could have never, it'd been much harder for me to get out or others. So it's been like this stepping up where it gets more and more accessible, right? There's more, your universe is expanding and you're going to find your perfect place into it. But the more you can align with the knowing and connect to the inspiration of who and what you are at its core without needing really anything, that inevitably is going to find its way to you and it's going to unfold. You deserve it. Feel that, own that, like step into that fully. It's such an exciting time to be alive. Your soul has played so many dues to get to this point in its evolution beyond anything you can probably fathom and remember. And just trusting and knowing that, like an innocent child that is excited about the day ahead. And that's really like, let's put down dragging any of this, the pains of your past, transmute them, use them as fuel. The same way the caterpillar melts down into a goo and all the destruction it created up to that point now melts into a goo that the imaginal cells that create the butterfly feed on. It needs that destruction, and caterpillars can be very destructive. Ask my mother, who complains about her geraniums, right? But that was necessary for the butterfly to be born, and you are becoming a butterfly. And I am so grateful to be here with you, watching you, doing my part to just kind of urge you along and help you remember what you are. There's nothing I can tell you you don't already know. It's a matter of remembering what you've forgotten. And that's all part of the journey and game that your soul signed up for. And now you remember that what you seek is seeking you. And ain't that just grand? I have a song to leave you guys with. This is Volo, Drift Away. And be sure and check out the link. Once again, I'm so excited to connect with some of you guys on Clubhouse. The link is in the show notes, or just search my name on there. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, since some of you aren't on Clubhouse yet, haven't gotten on there yet, or don't have an invite to get in yet, I'm going to record it on Thursday for the live Q&A and then release it on Friday's Positive Head episode. So at the very least, you'll be able to hear it. All right, everyone. Love you guys so much. Until next time, journey well. Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.